G'day swingers. So I've got something completely different for you this week. You may or may not have seen it a few episodes back. I'm not sure of the episode. Me and Ninja were looking for an old bakehouse. Now, when we were looking for this bakehouse, I managed to come across a nice old pickhead. So what I thought is I'm going to restore it. I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to make myself a handle for it. And I'm going to show you how I do it and what I do. So without further ado, I'll show you the bit, and actually before I do, I'll chuck in the little video clip of me finding it right about now. I've just come across this in the ground. It was about 4 or 5 inches down, bit of a way, but that is an old timer's little hammer pick thing. As you can see, it obviously had probably broken off on that end, and they just kept bashing with it. It could have been designed like that, I'm not too sure. It has been hammered pretty hard on that end, you can see the flare out. But I didn't notice what it was until I saw this bit here. I thought this was just iron packed on, but it's actually where the head would go through. You can see the hole there, just filled full of gunk at the moment. There's probably some rotten timber still in there, I'm not too sure. But that's a great start to the day. Righto, so here it is. As you can see, I have not really cleaned it at all since I got it back. It's literally still encrusted in dirt, dust and rust. So I'm going to get stuck into this and start cleaning this up, and I'll show you how we go about it.
Not my can! Bloody dust is going in the can! Can't have that.
Rightio, so I'm back in the studio. I had no idea, and it worked really well. So what I did is I simply took this little ball peen hammer. As you can see, it is coated in rust at the moment, and literally just with that ball end, let's see, I didn't really use that side at all. I'll probably use it once or twice, but it was mainly that end. I gave it a good knocking, and check this out. How much better does that look just from hitting it with the hammer? So I've got a little bit of work to do on the inside, but as you can see, I've got it back down to basically bare metal. So I'm going to try and start sanding this a little bit. I'm not going to go too crazy, as I said. I just want it to look, you know, like it was only just left behind by an old timer. But as you can see, that is an awesome looking pickhead so far. Alright, so just going to grab a sanding block and start trying to take off a little bit of this rustiness. Yeah, that ain't working. It's 150 grit and just ripped through it like it's nothing. It's doing the job. As you can see, it's getting a little bit silvery there, so still some meat on the bone. Thankfully I bought 2 of these because they are not living up to this thing. In fact, I think it's actually better to go get the Dremel now. I'm going to struggle so much without the Dremel. A couple minutes and I'll be back. You'll see that in about 1 second. I'm back. And we're all set up. So I've got my little grinding wheel on here. And just move this up here for a sec. You can see there's my little Dremel on my work zone Pro Tool. Running inside through the window. So this is fun. But I'm gonna get stuck into it, eh? Get the mask on first.
Let's go. Alright, I apologise. I don't know what happened, but it stopped filming. So, I've got... Sorry, drinks break. Good. Now, so, with a Dremel, unfortunately it didn't show you everything that I wanted it to. I originally started off with that grinding wheel, and then I went on to a couple of these little sanding discs. I went from that sanding disc to a little drum barrel sander, so that way I could get internal, inside the hole, and give that a good sand. That footage didn't save. Don't know why. Then I went from that onto this, which is no longer what it looks like. That used to be a buffing wheel. That's all it's left. But I'm very happy with the results. So as I said, I didn't want to go back to bare metal. I wanted it to look rustic still. And I'm pretty sure I've achieved that. Check this out. How awesome does that look now? So as you can see, it's still got the black oxidization. It's got a little bit of shine, but nothing too major. Alright, so first coat's done. As you can see, it's definitely got a good coat on it. It's a little bit glossy, but I'm not too phased. Just makes it look a little bit more special. So I'm going to give it another coat. This time I'm going to focus on actually showing what I'm doing, instead of looking away, trying to look at all this whilst I'm ducking around like I was. At least this way I can show you exactly what's happening. As you can see, I'm not concentrating on too much of an area. I'm just giving light sprays all over. So I was right in the fumes then. So we'll give another 10 minutes to seal, and I'm going to call that done. That looks great. I can't wait to see that on a new handle. Righto, swingers. So it's all dry now. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. I've given it a rub back with some quad aught or 0000 steel wool, just to take a bit of that shine off. As you can see, it's worked quite well. But I got something for you. So you've all seen, or possibly seen, the first video I put out, which was check out me bits, which is my display cabinet. Now, over here, in amongst the lead stuffs, guess what I've got? Some hammer and axe wedges. So let's grab the key off. Now, we're going to put one of these to use and actually put it into this little ripper. So that's a bit too big. So what we might do is we might use the two small ones. Otherwise, I will make some timber ones up, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to use those. I would like to use them again, seeing as they were designed for a specific purpose and they never got used, so may as well. But I think I'm going to use that one and that one and put those two back in the cabinet. So those are going to go together. I'll create the handle to go in the center, and then what I'll do is I'll just drive in a couple of these wedges. I'm not sure which way I'll do it. Could go that way, but it'll split the timber, so it's probably best to go in this way. Just do two side by side. Sort of going in like that. And that way, it'll wedge the handle into that. And basically just expand the timber inside it. So that'll finish it off nicely. Now it's got to make a handle. Alright, so back in the factory, and I'm going to make my handle. So first day back at work after long service. Oh well, got to keep occupied. Give me a sec, I'll flip the camera around. Right, so as you can see, I've got my pick head here, and I've just taken a nice piece of timber. I looked up the length of the handles that they usually come in. I can't find this exact one, but usually between 12 and 13 inches, so I've taken 13 inches. or 330 millimeters. I've just traced out the shape there just to get me started on the bottom end, and I will work it up bit by bit with, where is it? Now hitting it on myself. This thing, little wing plane. So I'll get stuck into it, show you how I go. Alrighty, so guess what? That's the joy of timber. Tannin stains your hand like you wouldn't believe. And no matter how much I try to wash them, that's stuck there for about 3 or 4 days. Ah well. Anyway, so check out the handle. So fully hand carved. Still got to give it a bit more love and clean it up with some sandpaper, but for an overall rough handle, I'll take that any day. And as you can see here, it goes in fairly well. Bang, bang, pretty flush. So now I just got to finish cleaning the handle off. And once I've finished sanding that up, I will put some distressed weathering look stain on it. So I've got this one, which actually just makes this look really dark, which is that one there. So this is the same timber, but as you can see, it's looking a lot better. I may even just rub my hands in. So if you have a look at this, I can actually make it weathered and dirty just by holding it and playing with it. As you can see, it's getting this nice aged look to it. So I'll have a play and see what I can figure out. Back to you soon. Rightio, so it's all done now. So as you can see, I've given it the sand. Now you're probably thinking, it's got marks all over it. That's intentional. I want to make this look as rustic as possible, so before applying my distress coat, I went and just threw it around like it's a random piece of junk. Threw it outside on the concrete, jumped up and down on it, smacked it against a whole heap of things, just make it look like it was used. So I'll apply this coat of this stuff now, and then we'll get some oil into it, put the head on, and drive those hammer wedges in. Oh, this is going to look great. You ready? Whoosh. Check that out. How awesome does that look now? So I just got to drive my hammer wedges in, which I'll put into here. But I just want to get this knocked on a little bit further first. So I'm just going to set up a couple bits of timber here and just knock this with a rubber mallet, just to really get that up and in. And yeah, then I'll chuck the hammer wedges in. But all in all, it's not exactly how the handle would have been, but I thought it would have looked a little bit dicky if I actually sort of really tapered this in too much. If I got a little bit thinner, it'd sort of be silly, but in there, that is a really, really comfortable grip. It doesn't matter which way you grab this. This is just absolutely comfy as. So to get this on properly, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lay this rag down here, just on top of these 2 bits of 4x2. I'm just going to sit that in position on top. And I'll take my rubber mallet. And that, my friends, is it. It's on, done, and finished. It's actually still fairly straight, considering it's hand carved, and I got no idea what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't even think I need to put a hammer wedge in there. That is really tight. You can see there's quite good there. I'll flip it over. That's pretty bloody good. A little bit of a gap here, but that's nothing. I'm wrapped as. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. As I said, something completely different. Obviously can't get out detecting too much at the moment due to lockdown laws still in place, so I had to figure out something else to do, and this was a pretty good one, I reckon. Till next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. See you later.